I've spent $44,161 worth of Frost Stars in Whiteout Survival in 182 days. I'm going to spend a little bit more today. We still have the childhood memory event going on with the marble thing with the ice orbs. I'm going to go through that again, but I really want to get into some of the events and what I'm thinking of next and give you some insight. But before I do that, let me just show you, before I get into some of the events, I just want to show you I did get the Discord server set up, so I will have that linked in the video description, the Discord invite. That is a special invite. I have invites locked down on the channel, but I just took some screenshots so I can quickly kind of show you, what's going on here. Just give you a little, excitement about what's going on in the Discord, because I have a lot of plans for it in the future. So first of all, if you take a look at the general layout, I'm trying to focus in on my niche. So of course there'll be some community chat stuff and stuff like that, but I'm trying to develop some tools. So I got this WOS Wizard website that I'm going to be setting up soon. That's what this is about. And I'm going to give developer updates and give you some insider info. That's what this insider access category is all about, is giving you some insider info into what's going on with me for the fans who want to know about that. Then we have, of course, the giveaways that a bunch of people have been asking about. Don't miss the giveaways. There are some special things I have set up on the server, though. You have to wait 10 minutes until you can say anything. You have to do CAPTCHA verify. All this because, there's too many bots out there and stuff. So that's just to lock it down, but it's just a one-time annoyance and then you'll be able to chat. The thing is, on these giveaways, it also requires you to have sent one message anywhere in the whole server. So just drop into introductions or say hello in the general chat. As long as you send one message, then you'll be able to register for the giveaway. And I'm going to do some of these. I've got a block of them that I can do. And then I think at some point, once I get used to this, I'll figure out how to do Frost Stars and I'll do some of those types of giveaways as well. We get into the Papa's panel and you look, I've already given it a little update. Here's some ideas I have coming up for content, right? So Frontier Check Value Study, the Prestige Wheel Spinner Day, Tundra Puzzle Hidden Shop, which I haven't talked about yet, prepping for T11, which I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight, and then Gen 4 stuff coming up soon. We've got new heroes and pets and experts coming up. So this is like where I'm going to give a little bit of insight into what I'm thinking of doing. And also for you, this you can actually type in this one as well, the Papa's panel. If you have some ideas on content you think would make, be entertaining or be interesting to see, or, questions you have should be elsewhere. But if it's particularly related to content you think would hit a certain audience or something like that, I'd love to hear it. So this is like a two-way thing. I'm going to post in there and you can as well. And then we have, of course, we got the general chat. So, and an ask for advice. If you want to ask, any of the people in the community for advice, that's what the ask for advice is for. And we already got people starting to talk in the general chat. This took off really fast. I mean, I just updated the link last night and posted a pinned comment. Hopefully, anybody who watches the videos regularly will see this tonight and you'll go check it out as well. So looking forward to seeing you there. But then we have, look at this, I've got pack analysis. Now, other servers are focused on different areas. What I really want to focus on here is, now I will get into other things on the website, but for my Discord channel, I really want to focus on my niche, which is trying to be an efficient whale. So I'm trying to get into pack analysis and event analysis. And when I get into event analysis here, what I mean there is really, I can't click on it, but what I really mean is analyzing the best way to play it to get the maximum value. So, stuff like Alliance Showdown, Alliance Mobilization, just looking for people to contribute tips in there about how to get the maximum value, whether it's free to play, mid-spend, or whales. Like how are you going to get the maximum value out of like Mia's Fortune Hunt? Mia's Fortune Hunt, it requires an optimal strategy as well as projected outcomes. And then what's the best things to buy? There's a discussion to be had there. Some of the other ones like Foundry, there's I don't really want to get into Foundry gameplay necessarily because that's just the event gameplay, but what are the best value items in the shop might be a good discussion for this one. So that's what I'm thinking of here. And, we'll morph it over time to best based on contributions and feedback from the community to see, what you guys want to talk about, if I need to organize it a little differently and stuff like this. There is something I'm a little excited about here, though, like this item and pack analysis. People are always asking me, and if you listen to other creators, like what's the best way to get charm designs as free to play, mid-spend, whale, right? There's different strategies for each one of those. And I'm looking forward to having like some discussions with the community to help people understand that, so that's what's going on there. And then, this, I already talked about the event analysis. So that's just an example. Like, I'm saying, I want to talk about optimal gameplay and how to get the best value. Now, while I'm over here, let's take a look. You saw a little preview of that T11 because I'm going to talk about this in some of my other purchasing decisions tonight. there's two things I'd like to show you. Okay, so I first went into the calculator and said, if I wanted to max out, we have T11 coming, I think it's approximately 30 days from now, maybe a little bit more, 33 days, something like that. I think it's like first week of July or so, where we're gonna get War Academy unlocked. So here's the thing. If you wanted to completely max it out, look at this. This is 822 days. Let me get my little pointer out so I can point around a little bit. If I wanted to completely max out T11, 822 days it needs of speeds. And this is with some of the bonuses, right? The shards, it needs 82,000 shards, basically. So that's 63,000 fire crystals, basically. 24 million steel, and then the resources I'm not as concerned about. But that's for, and this is the breakdown per troop type, right? So if you wanted to only do it per troop type, but that is a substantial amount. And really the biggest one makes me nervous is, the shards, the fire crystals to get to 63, I can probably do with some more aggressive spending. The steel I can get close to, but I don't know, 24 mil, that's a big number. I don't know how close I can get to that. I probably have to hit the regular shop as well. Then we've got the 822 days of speeds. Like, man, that is substantial. So then I backed off and said, all right, if I can't, the 3 extras after you unlock Helios, after you unlock the T11, those are recommended to get those up because these troop types will be extremely expensive to train, to heal, and all that stuff. So like you're supposed to try to get those other 3 bonus research items done as well before you really start using them, or else they'll be so cost prohibitive they're almost impractical to use. So this is the game plan, and I think this is the one I'm going to follow. This is the game plan if I go to T11 and I get all of the extras to 5. So if you notice what's happening here is like this is an indication that this is an exponential grind, basically. To get from 5 to 10, you're going from 478 days to 822 days. So like all the research to get you to T11 plus those first 5 of the 3 extras is only 478 days, a little over a year, a year and a half of speed ups. But to get to max them all out is almost double that amount. And that's because of an exponential grind of those additional extras. So if I just go to level 5, that will make them, it'll help a bunch. And then I will just be on the path to grinding out the rest of that research. But at least I will have all of the T11, unlocked at that point, and then I'll have a good progress towards the extra 3. I'm curious, I have some time on this, but this is my plan. I'm curious to hear comments. So drop me comments if you think this is a decent game plan. I think it should be reasonable. I think I should be able to get the steel required for this. I already have like the fire crystals essentially to be able to do this. And I want to make sure, I'll also need enough fire crystals to do the War Academy. And I do still need to keep fire crystals banked because we're going to have FC8, but FC8 comes a little bit longer. So I'll have a little bit of time for that, but I still want to make sure I'm putting fire crystals in the bank for that. So I don't know. This seems like a decent game plan to me. And this is what I'm working towards, but this still highlights a big flaw. 478 days of research time. That is significant. So what does that tell me? We come back to the game. What that tells me is I need speeds. I need lots of speeds. Let's take a look. Here's what I'm looking at right now. I've got plenty of resources right now. I know that'll get eaten up later in the game, but look at these speeds. Like, it's a little pathetic. I went through them recently because we just did the FC5 upgrade not too long ago. I did a troop training day. And by the way, this is another thing people were telling me, don't forget, you're going to need troop training speeds I've got 2.5 million troops right now, and it's just going to keep growing as I do the daily, training. 2.5 million troops are going to need to be upgraded. That's not cheap, and it takes a lot of time. So that's another thing to consider. Like, just unlocking them is one thing, but then actually promoting them is another. So we got to consider that. We got to consider, building the War Academy. That shouldn't be substantial. That's going to be more resources than anything else. And then I think, that's about 46 days and 2,300 fire crystals, but a ton of resources, like almost a billion each, like 790 million wood and meat, etc. So anyways, the thing I'm really going to get blocked on is the research. So this is one of the reasons why I bought the what was it called, Tech Storm pack yesterday. I bought that out, and I'm going to continue to do this because oh, and by the way, so I'm going to continue to do this because I need the speed ups. So let's get into the spending because I'm going to explain something. I wanted to kind of lay the groundwork on why I'm doing some of this spending tonight, but that's one of them I wanted to lay the groundwork for, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to look at this Hall of Chiefs and I'm going to buy this out because, I mean, this is a decent value. It's not an awesome value. It's a decent value for speeds. I looked through my calculator and compared to how you get speeds in other places, like I think actually Mia's was the baseline, it's actually a better value. So this is a good value. The Tech Storm, a lot of you are telling me, oh, the general speeds are a better value. It's not really substantial. Like if you do the math on it, it's a very marginal difference. So the fact that I need them in bulk and it's a decent deal, it means, we're going to go ahead and spend on it. Now, the pet chests, here's what I'm going to do on the pet chests tonight. I'm just going to do this tonight at the $5 mark because I have a lot of pet chests. I'm just going to do one of each of these things. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it like this tonight. So I have a bunch of this. I'm only doing this to get some VIP points because, it is, and you get a golden key for, you get an epic key for it as well. I could go to $10 too, but basically, when I did the math before on getting globe and stuff, like the more I do the $5, the better. And that's not a super inefficient spend per se in that metric. I'm not going to defend it too strongly because the thing is, when the new pets unlock, which is happening very soon, this custom pet chest, as I understand it, these X8s at the base level are going to go to, X4 at the base level will go to X7. So the value of this is going to go up, and there's no sense in me buying this like crazy. Now, there does make sense that I have a bunch of them in the bank before because other people are still going to be trying to play catch up while I'll have a bunch of this in the bank and I'll be able to get those pets, during the next SVS, I'll be able to get those pets maxed out pretty quickly because of all this stuff that I have banked up, and other people will still be trying to buy it. But the value of the shop does go up, so I'll wait on the custom pet chest. So that's why I kind of skipped that one. Now, Hall of Chiefs, though, like I said, I just did the math. I showed you why. It doesn't matter which strategy I use. No strategy I use is going to be complete without the speeds, or else I'll be waiting a year, right? So this is where we're at. Like, we're buying speeds. That's what we're doing. So let's see. I just bought that out, and now let's see what the speed ups look like. So that's nice. That put a dent. If I can do that a few more times before we get the War Academy unlocked, that'll be good. And I do have some research speeds as well. So between the two of them, I actually have, what is that, 210 or so days. But I'm going to need a lot more. I'm going to need a lot more. So, but that's a nice way to put a dent in that. And then some people are telling me, it might be good to use the speed ups in Mia's as well. I think that might be because I'll have a lot of opportunities to buy fire crystals elsewhere. I think Mia's Fortune Hub might be just for speeds now. Like, I'm going to get blocked on speeds. That's where this is going. So I see that bump in the road coming, and I'm trying to plan for it. And by the way, this is a great community. Thank you for all the comments. Some people reach out to me in the game. Some people, reach out through the comments in the game. And now I have the Discord, but keep these comments coming because you guys who've been playing the game longer, you already know these road bumps that are coming. You're trying to help warn me, and it's giving me something to go, research and look at and figure out what I want to do for my gameplay. And if I didn't even know about it, it's an awareness, and you don't know what you don't know. And the fact that you're making me aware of it is helping me do the research and figure out what I want to do and kind of plot a course. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. No luck on that. And then we'll do the weekly deals. By the way, well, let's finish doing these claims, and then let's cover one more thing quickly. By way of saying thank you. The other thing I wanted to point out is this 5% bouncing above my head. A lot of you used my affiliate link. It's in the video description. It doesn't cost you anything, brings you to the official shop. They have this 5% bonus going on right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. I keep on topping off with it because I want to take advantage of it while it's still going on. But if you use my affiliate link, it gives me some Frost Stars as well, and it's a way to support me and support the channel. But a lot of you used it. I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate that. It helps more than you might know. Even though it's not a lot, it helps more than you might know. So I appreciate it very much. You keep on using that affiliate link. I appreciate it. It keeps the content going. All right. So let's get into, we don't have much to do in deals. This crystal reactivation is done already. All I can do is like kind of make some more claims from that and kind of put them in the bank. The travel rewards is just claiming it at this point. Sign and earn it is just a claim. And that's all we got going on here. No more, nothing. Well, I can do a dead shot. All right, let's try a dead shot. Now remember, somebody gave me this tip. I know it's all pure random luck, but it worked last time. It's basically you form a U, and starting at the left and you form a U. It worked once. Let's see if it works again. I mean, you never know. It is purely random luck, but if this strategy tends to work for me and the other one didn't, I'm just gonna use it from now on. I don't know. It's just random luck, so I don't know why it would work better than others, but, you know. Oh, all right. It's odd that the twice I've done it, I've got the keys back to back right next to each other. But that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, that's not a great dead shot, but it's not horrible. I've done much worse. So I don't know. Maybe that U doesn't work so well. But a lot of people who watch my content started using it as well, and they said, hey, thanks for that tip. It helped me in dead shot. Well, good for you. It helped me once exactly. Let's see. I'll keep doing it though. We'll see what the record is for that, because you know, why not? I got nothing else to lose with Deadshot. Deadshot absolutely hates me, so I might as well keep on trying something, you know, something different, I should say. All right, so that's the deal section. Before we get into the childhood memory event, because we really only got one more on that, let's take a look at, no, we got Mercenary Prestige. Let's take a look at the other events. So we got Wild Brawl. That'll be kind of fun. It was a little fun last time. What else? Let's take a look at the calendar. We got fishing coming up soon. We got all the childhood events, of course. Oh, we got the trading station. Forgot about that coming up. Yep. Then we got, yeah, Hero Rally's coming up, and you can see Gen 4 is coming up, right? There's our little preview that we have Gen 4. So that's confirmation right there. 100% confirmation. We have Gen 4 coming up on Monday or Sunday at the reset, I guess. All right. And then we've got the Wild Brawl. Brother in Arms is wrapping up. We got, we got Castle this weekend. I'm actually thankful to be in a position in the state right now where we have peace and agreement, because normally I would do this event just to get some of the, the charm design rewards. But I'm babysitting my grandson. My wife is in Portugal. Like, I want to sleep in. I was up until 5 a.m. last night working on the Discord server. So I want to sleep in on Saturday morning. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If they don't need my help, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then we have, oh, this is fun. I love I've learned to like Canyon Clash. I think this is a fun event for a different reason, because it's not direct battle. It's kind of a different kind of battle. And then, of course, we have a Foundry coming up as well. So this is like one of those combo weekends with Canyon Clash and Foundry battle. So that'll be cool. What is this? Oh, this is the new one. Oh, I read about this. This is the one that replaces, is this the one that replaces Gina or something? No, this looks a little different. I don't know. Is this the one that replaces Gina? Maybe tell me in the comments. I'll have to do some research on this Hero's Mission. All right, so that's what we got going on in the events. So let's take a look at King of Icefield. What we got going on today for King of Icefield is Chief Gear and troops. Now, I did spend a lot of money on Chief Gear. I'm going to save most of it for SVS. I don't really want to jam a bunch of troops out. I don't really like doing that. So, and I do need to save those speeds. If my goal is like a month from now to promote a bunch of, T10s to T11s, I need all those speeds I can get. I don't need to keep on, spamming troops just for points here. So what I'm going to do tonight is actually Chief Gear just to get my basic points. We'll see what that looks like in a little bit. So that's what we're going to do for that. What else do we have? And then we have the childhood memory events. This is the party expert. And I've already got some gathering out. That's what this is all about, is the gathering. So we've got gathering and, building power, tech power, and true power. I'm not going to spam tech power right now. I've got some research in kind of in the oven right now. Again, I'm not going to do troops. So that leaves me with gathering. So what I did for that is First of all, I got a lot of my island stuff all maxed out when I was just kind of playing around with the island. What I also did is I did the gathering speed. This only cost me 600 gems, 24 hours worth of gathering speed for 100% faster. And as you can see, these normally take like, you know, I don't know, they're down to like 10 hours or something, 9 hours. No, I think they're down to like 9 hours now, and I got it started a little earlier. So now they're only going to take like 5 hours. So I'll cycle through that a little bit faster, and I'll put some more points, you know, on the board that way. And we also have an alliance gathering node, so take care of that as well. But that's what we're looking like for these events. So I guess let's do the chief gear first, because that is something I want to take a look at. Now, I can go different directions with this, but just kind of the, what do you call it? I don't know if you want to call it OCD part of my brain. I want to see another star over here if I'm going to do anything, but I don't want to go too crazy. I just want to do what I can for the event points, so, and save the rest for SVS. So, well, it looks like I'm going to have to do them all. All right, was that enough? Let's check it out. Ah, a little bit more. All right, let's see. Well, technique, don't you? Well, I like lagging the Lancers right now because I'm trying to go for marksman for bear and infantry to be a tank. So I think what I'll do is do a little bit more progression on the marksman. And I'll just do one on each side maybe. Kind of balance that out. And there we go. All right. And that's the bare minimum I can do to get the points. No, wrong one. Bare minimum I can do to get the points without blowing too much for SVS. And then I get my medals of honor and I'm happy. So that's what we're going to do for the points tonight. That's it. It's just the chief gear and just a little bit of it at that. All right. And yeah, as you can see, this is where I'm sitting for total ranking in this event. Well, I didn't even expect to be top 10, honestly. But it's interesting that I'm top 10. But is what it is. I'm just doing what I need for basic points. I think one of the events there was some synergy with the essence stones. That's probably why. By the way, let's take a look at that quick. Don't mean to keep popping around on you here, but it is a little bit of a mix and match night. Here's what's going on in Arena. Let's take a look at what happened at the reset. Where is the reset? Yeah, right around here. This is towards the reset. So what was happening is, you know, this player I told you about before was kind of going back and forth with me. I upgraded a bit. This is one of the reasons I did the essence stones. I was like, oh, we're right on the cusp of one another in power. So let me make it a little bit easier or harder to be a target, and let's see if I can even take him sometime. So he went to go hit me and got a big, you know, fat 0. And then he did hit me and get him, and then he got me for 5, etc. But if we look at what happened here, so then this other player, which has got a lot more power than me, he like did a bunch of these dings on me. I don't know, probably because he was trying to protect his own state or something, but it didn't make sense. It's diminishing returns. He's getting less and less points from me, basically. Then I'm able to go and hit this guy again, get a plus 11, right? And then if you look at what's happening here, like he hit me for -4, but I hit him for a plus 12. Then he hit me and loses, like gets a 0, a big fat 0. And then I'm able to, well, I did some other players. He hits me for -4 again. And then by the time I got here, he's at the top and I've got just a couple seconds left. If you look at the timestamps here, right? I got just a couple seconds left, get it right down to the wire is what I've been doing. And I'm able to hit him for 11, 11, 10, 10, 9. So I took first place again. And the main reason for that is I did push a little bit more on the use some essence stones basically. So I've got, you know, Alonso's at plus 12 now here on the alternate gear, and you already saw he was at plus 39. But the belt here, the Lancer belt, is at plus 36. I want to get that to plus 39 as well. So it's just sitting there ready to be you know, empowered. And then I also got them to 12, so that's 12, 12 there. And then the other days for this alt gear for the purposes of Arena, I got these to 9 and 8. So I'm not sure I showed that previously, and that's just sitting there kind of holding the hero gear experience for me. So that's what's going on with Arena, and a little preview of what's going on with the heroes right now. I'm overall happy with that result because it did allow me to get some more Arena points and you know, another Arena win, which is good for that mithril ultimately is what I want there. For the Arena shop. That's everything going on with kind of a catch-up in all that stuff. So now let's go to the event, and let's see. First, let me make absolutely sure there's nothing else that I needed to buy tonight. Oh, it was the stamina. Forgot about the stamina. So the stamina, I know, mixed bag. Some people understand me buying it, some people don't. But to me, this is like I'm either going to buy it with gems or I'm going to buy it here because I like having the stamina. To me, the way I look at stamina is stamina converts to other things. So you're not just buying the stamina, you're buying the other things, intel missions, the pet, rewards. And you do get some every day that kind of offset that. But really for Beast Day, I like to be able to put some points on the board, and because they're easy points. Basically, I go to sleep, I leave Auto Beast Hunter on, but I just need a ton of stamina to be able to do it. And that converts to not only points for SVS, but also stuff. Like every beast you hit gives you stuff. It gives you alloy and hero experience and gems and stuff like that. So not bad ultimately. And then these, the Ice Conqueror and these I'm still going to skip. I don't see much of a point in those. All right, so, and then regular shop, did I already grab? Yeah, because these, I already explained the transfer pass. So yeah, that's just sitting there. So yeah, we didn't get a reset on these yet. So these will just sit there. Although I could probably justify buying more of the Gear Empowerment and Lunar Amber. It's kind of always sitting there at the same price, I believe. So I'm just not going to worry about it right now. And then let's get into the childhood memories. We'll go right to left again. Just do that claim. Penguin Shop. I'll grab my Lucky Hero Gear chest so I don't forget about it again. And then we'll grab some Icebound Frenzies. Now, somebody was saying that they think I probably don't need to go to $100 every day because I can buy out the shop already. But, I'm not sure about that. And if we look at, I don't know if I want to get into this, but you can go unlimited on the training speeds. So even if I were able to buy out everything, I'd still be able to buy some of the training speeds. And I don't see the point in this nameplate, by the way. This is entirely cosmetic, so I really don't see the point in that. It's not a frame that I like, because it's not that I don't like it. It's not my style. So I'm not saying I hate it or anything. It's just not my style. It's not something I want to spend on. Same reason for this city skin. It's not something that's my style, so I'm not going to buy it. I am going to buy this Dancing Lion city skin because I like it. I wish I had enough to do one of the circus ones as well, but I don't. So I'm only going to do the Dancing Lion this time around. And then I'll buy out in order of priority the rest I can. But, you should start adding this up. Look, there's 24,000 there. There's 8,000 there. So what are we, let's do rough mental math. 32,000, 52,000, 56,000. I don't even want to buy these, but that would add quite a bit. Let's ignore that one. 56,000, 67,000 or something. I don't know if I did that mental math quickly enough. 73,000, let's say, 79,000, 84,000, no, 85, yeah, 84,000, and then 92,000. So yeah, I probably can, and even if I include this, 110,000, and then I'm getting into the training speeds. So I guess the question is, are those training speeds worth it? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The bounces here are still worth it for me. So I'm still going to buy to 100. The only question is, how efficient is it going to be? I'm going to have to do some math on those training speeds to figure that out. I'll just try to do the relative comparison at least. I say math, but I'm going to try to do the relative comparison of the training speeds versus the others in the shop. It feels like it's probably not the best value there, but the thing is the reason I'm buying this out to $100 still is because the more I cycle that left-hand side, the more I have a chance of getting those Lucky Hero Gear chests, which is what I really want. Not to mention, there's a certain amount of spending I need to do for, for VIP and stuff like that. That'll come organically as well. I'm going to try to be more efficient about it over time. But there's, again, whales, there's the more I've gotten into this and tried to do this study of efficiency, what it comes down to is, and I'm going to start thinking about this when I do some of my pack analysis work, whales need to consider two topics. It's not just about efficiency all the time. It's also about scarcity. If there's items that are just hard to get, in bulk, in high quantity, then what are you going to do? You got to buy them where you can. So your sense of efficiency becomes, how much do I need? And let's not buy them until I need them. If I know that there's I know the pets value, the pet shop is going to, that custom pet pack is going to get better soon. All right, I can kind of cheat the corners there a little bit, but otherwise, like, I'm going to need a lot of this stuff in quantity. And if I don't get it in quantity soon enough, then I will lose my competitive edge to other people who are willing to spend and I'm not. So that's kind of like, that's a little bit what it's like to be do the whale spending. You have to consider scarcity, and if nobody else is doing it, then, you know, you'd probably be fine. Oh, can we, one more cycle, it would have been nice. You know, if nobody else was doing it and everybody was doing a slow grind progression with you and you were able to stay competitive in your state, then that's fine. That's your state. In fact, the level of spending I'm doing would not even be sufficient for some of the other states I've seen. Those guys there's a guy up to like 900 million already, I think. And he's just like right around our state level. I would not be able to compete with that guy. If he was in my state, like, I just wouldn't. So it's all relative, you know. But I think I've got a little bit of a good cadence going on right now. Our matches have been decent. Hunty and I have a good thing going on between the two of us with our power and our strategies, and working together. So I think it's all good. Good. I cycled through that twice. Nice. I got a lot of hits on that left bumper. So it's all relative. Nice. Wow. I cycled through quite a few times right there. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, look how many lucky hero gear chests I'm getting. Not to mention the coins and fire crystals and everything else, right? So to me, you know, part of the value here is in the bumpers. I mean, that's, to me, I think every time I look at it, it's like that's the biggest part of the value is in the bumpers, not the coins. Coins are like a side thing. All right, cycled it one more time. And when you do your analysis here, it's not, you can't say like, oh, I spent, you know, $189 and got whatever it ends up being, like 200 lucky hero gear chests. No, look at all the stuff you got in that cycle. So that includes, you know, 15 general mythic shards, some XP components, and 120 fire crystals in that every time you cycle. So the more times you cycle, the more value. Hey, all right, got another 500. And I forgot to, come on, yeah, right. Got it cycled one more time for lucky hero gear chest. I forgot to do the daily grinds, I think, before recording. So here we go again. And I was doing a lot of talking. I could have done the beast stuff while I was recording. So we got speeds, beasts, epic recruitment. I'm gonna have to do a little bit. So just get this going while we wait. There we go. Let that go. Do the epic recruitment. 1, 2, and we'll do some troops and kill the speeds all in one pass. So speed up this guy, oops, and this guy. There we go. And see where we're at. All right, we were able to clear all but the beasts, and that'll clear shortly while we're playing. And will that give me any? Yeah, it'll give me one more orb. All right, well, I'll just do it to 20, and then we'll save one for tomorrow. All right. All right, so cycled it again. And here's where we're looking at 150,000 coins. So I am going to wait till tomorrow. Somebody said, hey, wouldn't it be a shame if you waited until the end of the event and forgot to buy in the shop and that all converted to resources? That would be absolutely horrible, and I do not plan on doing that. Luckily, the way the event works, and it's like this with all the events I've seen so far, well, for most of them anyways, that when it's an event that has a shop, the countdown on the shop gives you one more day than the event. So look, Penguin Bounce lasts a day, basically today until tomorrow, and then the shop is one more day. So even when the event's gone, you get another day to do that. So I'm gonna, on the last day, I'm gonna do all my spending, and we'll see where things land there. But yeah, I probably am gonna be able to buy out the shop at this rate. So, because that's a lot of spend on this event ultimately. But I think it's been worth it, actually. Not for Mithril like I would have hoped, but I think it's been worth it. Let's clear the backpack and see where things stand. The rest of the account. Oops. No, only got 5 there. Clear out this. Oops. All right. Speed ups. Let's take a look at that again. Yep. It's looking good. And then put these all in the bank. So 213 Lucky Hero Gear chests ultimately. Let's see how many Mythic we can get out of that. We can get more than 2. We're doing good. Whoa, all right, 4. That's double the amount I expected. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty good. I think my rate on Mythic has been, or my luck on the Lucky Hero Gear chest has been pretty good lately. All right, and then you know what? We'll take a little of that experience and work on this little progression over here, and there we go. So that's Lancer is all maxed out now and ready to go for progression. Got the same with the Marksman. And then, you know, next time I get a chance to spend some Mithril, I can decide where that's going. But essentially, now I can put some more of that experience. I don't have any place else to put it as a placeholder, but I can kind of throw it on one of these guys for arena. Because I can't, whoop, I don't want to send it, because then I can't take it back. But, you know, I can just throw some on some of these guys, just as a placeholder. Bring them up to 20 maybe. This might help for exploration as well. Might help for events, maybe. A little bit. But putting on these top 5 I know will help with arena for sure. Surely it's almost gone, right? Wow, still have a bunch more. Well, I'll just continue doing that and figure out where it's going exactly. But it's going to be those top 5. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I had it going on the top 6 for maybe an alternate March. But right now I'm kind of more focused on arena in the short term. So if I need it for another event, I can always reassign it. All right, now we got one more thing. One more thing we can do here. That's from my arena winnings, by the way. So we got one more thing we can do here. And that is Labyrinth and then VIP. So let's take a look at Labyrinth, only because I did a little bit. Now the Research Center, this isn't going to be anything. Like I'm gonna back the, well, let's see, what did I do? Yeah, I think this combo seemed to work okay. Like this is just going to be a matter of luck. Okay, I got a little lucky. I was going to say, I don't think I've pressed research since last I did it, but obviously maybe I have. Or maybe that ratio change mattered more than I thought. And I just didn't get lucky last night. No, I think I just got lucky twice. That's what happened. So, I got lucky twice in a row. And now all the luck is gone. All right, so I didn't expect to get lucky in the Research Center. Now Labyrinth, or for Gearforge, kind of the same deal right now, because I'm just gonna, is this what I did last time? I think, oh no. We'll try it like this. I pushed a little bit, right? So maybe it'll matter a little bit. Oh, come on. Let's take a look at what that battle report looked like. Yeah, I probably need more marksmen in that. Or maybe not. Let's see. We can just go to standard 50, 20, 30. Seems to work well in this gen anyways. There we go. Well, at least got a couple more levels out of that. I think literally 2 more, right? Yeah, and I don't know, like I said, Hunty and I don't talk about our game plan as far as progression and stuff like that, but I didn't think he was pushing Hero Gear that much. I think he was pushing Charms recently, but Hero Gear isn't the best cost per dollar. I just kind of want to get it out of the way so it's kind of table stakes. All right. That's the main content I have tonight. Let's just take a look at the VIP. And see where we're at, 1.6 mil. According to my calculations, I need, to guarantee that I finish off Globe, I need about 8 million more VIP. So all the spending I've been doing recently, I'm still not even at 2 million VIP. Unless I get super lucky, I would need another 8 million VIP. So it's going to be a while. It's just going to be a while. It's going to be a long grind, and it'll come when it comes, you know. Somebody said they think I'll have Globe by the time I'm at 45. Well, guess what? I'm probably close to that tonight. If not by tomorrow or so, I'll be at 45 and still no Globe, but I haven't done them yet. So I might get a little lucky. You never know. But, stay tuned, because we're going to do, that's one of the things in my content plan, is to do a day of some spins when we have a slower day. And I got a couple other things up my sleeve as well. But remember, there's one thing that you can do to help me more than anything, and that is, if you're going to spend stars already, anyways, then use the link in my video description, because that'll give me some Frost stars as well, and it doesn't cost you anything. It just links you to the shop, gives me credit for the sale, and helps me out, helps me, keep going on the channel. If you want to continue to see this journey, you got to help me out a little bit, right? And one of the ways you can do that as well, that doesn't cost you anything, all you got to do is like this video, and it helps more than you realize it. Subscribe to the channel, again, helps more than you might realize. And also turn on notifications, that way, whenever I post anything, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.